This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out of It.
Welcome back, everyone. You know the drill. You know who it is. If you're a new listener, if you're a recent listener, if you're an old listener, it doesn't matter. We have a special ask for you. Yes. Because it kind of pertains to today's episode. So please go like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff for the podcast. Really helps us out. Really, it just makes us happy.
And this is one for you.
And you know who you are, who recommended this. By the way, we do recommended movies every 5 episodes. So please get those in if you are new, or if you've never shot your shot, go for it.
Yeah, if you want to shoot your shot with us, go ahead.
Shoot your shot, okay? Go for it and start commenting and letting us know what movies you want us to watch, because we'll review them. I promise you.
Yes.
Unless it's like hee-haw stuff. We do have some stipulations. It has to be horror action.
It has to be horror action.
And kind of earnest horror action. We don't really do
spoofs or
hee-haw stuff. Maybe if you pay us.
Yeah.
We can talk about monetary goals later. But for now, every 5 episodes, get your suggestions in. This is a recommended movie. And we know... Actually, the person, I'm not going to say their name, but
we know you.
You know who you are. You're actually pretty integral to a part of the Team Cone lore and the zeitgeist that is our podcast. So we really, really appreciate you putting in that recommendation. And I'm trying not to judge. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
No.
It's a good movie. It's just a little...
I have seen this one before.
I've seen it before, but it's been a very long time. And I forgot how completely unhinged it is.
It's
it's Switchblade Sisters. Let's get the title out of the way.
If you know who Jack Hill is, he made Foxy Brown, he made Coffee, which I do love those movies, and I would say I enjoy those much more than this. But if you are of a certain mindset, if you are of a certain insanity, I would recommend this for you. I think it's a decent movie. No, I don't think it's a bad movie.
No, I think it's a fun watch, and I get why people would really love it, because it is very unhinged.
It is very out there.
There's the structure is non-existent. There's no It's just a bunch of gang shenanigans happening. And there's a very loose plot. There's a very loose thread going there. So there is somewhat of some momentum, but it's just scenes happen.
It's one of those, juvenile delinquent gang fight movies. I don't know, if you picture West Side Story or something taken to just absolute degenerate level.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what it is. It's this.
No, exactly. They just go for it, and I'm honestly here for most of it.
The acting's okay.
The acting's not the greatest I've seen.
The writing's okay.
Some motivations are a little weird to me.
I won't even. They are so fascinating.
They are. It's a very interesting movie. Let's just say that it's very interesting. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's my cup of tea.
No, like I said, I like Foxy Brown, Coffee, those kind of movies. But
those are great.
I'm a blaxploitation girly, so
we do get a little bit at the end, though. To be honest.
I did remember that, because when I first watched it, I was like,
and
I
that's
remembered there was a black gang.
Honestly, the end of it is probably one of my favorite parts of the entire movie. I love the end scene.
Shootout.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a rambler because again, just like this movie had no structure, so shall our podcast not have any structure whatsoever. Let's not get into the shootouts yet, because there's 3 big shootouts. We won't get into that just yet. So let's just do
Is there 3?
No, 2. Sorry, my bad.
Roller rink and the street.
And the street, yeah. So 2 big shootouts. We'll get to those because but let's give, like most ramblers, we'll give you a general overview of what this movie is all about.
This movie is set in some psychotic, deranged version of America where
where the cops don't give a fuck really about anything.
High schools have just completely fallen apart, and teenagers are just in psychotic, psycho killer gangs. And there is a new girl in town, and she shows up, and she basically rises up through this gang. And the main players in it are the guy who runs it and his girlfriend. And the new girl rises up through it, and shenanigans occur.
Yes.
That's the movie.
Yeah, so yeah. New girl enters, shit happens.
Yes, it's like...
That's basically the entire fucking movie.
Classic setup.
Yes.
We've seen a billion movies just like it, but I know you haven't seen a movie that does it quite this way.
And for our Shakespeare girlies, I guess the director, you were saying...
I'm not a Shakespeare girly, so I can't...
I'm not really...
confirm or deny
I'm not
this.
really either, because... I mean, I swear to God, if you, like, love Othello and then you watch this, don't come after us, because...
No, this is the
he was
director's own words.
He was inspired by
Yes, he
Othello.
says he was inspired by Othello when he made this, and there is... If I look at the Wikipedia of Othello, I can somewhat see it.
I can kind
Whether that's true or false...
I have no idea.
Doesn't matter.
I can kind of see the thread there, and I can kind of see what he was maybe going for, because I know about Othello. I've never seen it.
Well, it's like, isn't West Side Story basically Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, well, essentially. I mean, they're like...
So, yeah, that's the second West Side Story reference here.
They're influential for a reason,
yeah.
right? So, I mean, the stories are influential,
Gangs
right?
and shenanigans.
Gangs, shenanigans, like, just shit happening. It's
drama.
Fun. Drama. You want the drama.
Yeah.
And so you get that because, you know, she, like, rises through the ranks and then eventually joins up with another gang of women, and they take out all the men. They literally just kill... The entire movie is kill all bad men gang members.
Kill all men.
Kill all men.
Men bad, because the men chicken out.
Well, the men are fucking idiots in this movie.
The men in this movie are
most part.
deeply...
They are deranged. And they are... they're brain rotted, and you know what? I'm actually here for it, you know? I'm here for, like...
there is...
Really dumb, stupid, fucking idiot, like... masculine men just getting like annihilated.
There's a scene where there's a scene where the main gang leader, his girlfriend is in jail, okay?
Yes.
And she writes him a love letter. And of course, all the dude bros like goad him to, read it. And he reads it out loud. And every sentence, they just can't stop cackling. They just lose their marbles. And she even writes him a poem, how much she loves him. And they're all just, oh.
I know, they're just like, they're like all giving him shit and stuff. It's like when...
You're in love, bro? That's so
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Except like the scene that I'm going to reference is far less stupid than that.
Please.
When, in Starship Troopers, when Rico when Rico is getting the voice memo from her, and they're all like showing their asses and like being total degenerates in the background.
That's an actual movie.
Well, yeah, that's what. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that's kind of what it reminded me of, because like it's like the brain rotted version of that.
Yeah.
Because they're all
that insane psycho version of that.
It's fucking...
Because at no point in this movie does this dude exhibit any any love or affection towards this woman.
Which is weird, because she's like head over heels for him. Like, I mean, that's basically the crux of the whole movie, is because she wants to get back in good favor with him. But the problem is he
loves the new girl.
Well...
Who he rapes.
Yeah, it's wild.
In her house.
Yeah, in her own house
with the mom there,
and
the mom is with her mans, who is the building manager,
and he doesn't do anything because he's afraid of the guy.
The gangs control everything.
Yeah, and so he's afraid.
You know who that is?
He's afraid of the guy, and so he doesn't do anything about it. And then she just decides to stay for some reason. Because she's already like initiated. Because what happens is, they're in like the girls' home, and the
burger place. They're all getting burgers and shit, and they're like, you know, being all like intimidating, and the new girl's sitting there just trying to eat a fucking burger,
and they beat her up.
Like, hey, we want this table. And
then they get
she kicks their ass.
Then they get taken to a juvenile detention where there's a lot of weird shit going on. There's a warden.
Warden who wants a piece of the ladies.
Yeah, she is known for abusing the teenage girls.
Oh yeah, everyone's who's a teenager.
Yeah, they're all supposed to be teenagers. Yes. That makes it way worse.
It makes it funnier. Sorry. It makes it a lot funnier because
it is funnier because, like, honestly, it's one of those things where no one looks like a teenager.
I'm not even gonna go.
Zero people in this movie look like a teenager.
I'm not even gonna go there.
You should, because
no, it's not worth it.
Well, I'll just mention it. We don't have to go there. I'm just gonna mention it. None of them look like teenagers.
It's a given.
Yeah,
but it's not even worth mentioning because it's from 1975 and no one in these movies ever looks their age.
I mean, that's still true today sometimes. So,
but. It's just that they keep cutting back to like high school shenanigans, and you're like, oh right, these are like.
But like you said, there's like every time they show the fucking high school, it's like dystopian, like no one cares about anything.
Nonsense graffiti everywhere.
It's like Judge Dredd future kind of like high schools for some reason.
But they're all in the prison with this warden, and she's
gonna go sexually abuse the new
because she's
woman.
Not part of the gang.
And she fights him off, and then
all the other.
So Maggie, who's she's the one who's in love with the guy.
She's like, hey, like.
Well, she sees them about to like do something to her, and she's like fighting back, and she's like, okay, you're part of the gang now. So they all go in and start beating the shit out of her, and they stay in juvenile detention because they still have like some time.
And she said,
okay, so again, with the Unhinged, they're like choking out the warden, and they're like, we heard you had a girl on the outside. And she's like, no, I don't. And they're like, would be ashamed if something happened to her. She's like, don't do anything.
She's like, oh, fine.
Then back off.
Back off of the new girl. She's like, fine.
She's like, fine.
But then, because she's tough, they're cool with her, and that's when she gives her the love letter. To send.
Well, because she's getting, so the new girl's getting out, and Maggie wants her to give the letter, and that's when they do the whole reading the letter, and that's also when he does stuff with the new girl that I can't remember her name for some reason. What's her name? We should probably remember that because I know it's Maggie and
Memento.
Yeah, you look it up while I keep talking. But yeah, so no, Maggie's the new girl. Okay, so Lacey. Okay, yeah. So Lace is the girl that's in love with the man.
She's the baddie.
Maggie's the new girl, and she just decides to stay because she's initiated in this gang, and I guess they're trying to show that she has nowhere else to go, basically.
They kind of imply that, like, in this world, if you're not in a gang, you're fucked.
Yeah, like it's dystopian apparently. Maybe it's supposed to be set in like 2077. I have no fucking idea.
2077 looks a lot like 1975.
Yeah, it really does.
Really, but
it's 2075. Okay, it went so far into the future that we just we're repeating ourselves.
Came back.
we're just repeating it.
The Ouroboros.
Yeah, Ouroboros.
But they're all through this. There's also a second gang.
Yes.
I don't remember their name. There's like a wannabe politician. Yeah, he's like a young Republican. What the fuck is his name? Krabs. And
Mr. Krabs.
They said his full name and it was like Krabowitz or something.
Yeah,
but everyone calls him Krabs.
Who cares?
But he's the other guy, and he's like a looming.
So our main gang member, our main gang guy. What's his name?
Dom.
So Dom wants control of all the territory, school. Right? But Krabs has control of some of the school
because Krabs' school got closed because it's too violent. So he's being transferred.
So when Maggie comes in, Dom's like, "Hey, we're gonna send you over to the school."
Well, because
to seduce Krabs.
Hey, you can't just let.
Are you following along yet? Is this a little unhinged for you?
They're like. hey, you can't just let her in.
Yeah.
She has to do something.
Right.
And so she has to suffer. And they're like, I got it. I want Krabs' medallion, his necklace.
Yeah.
Which has a swastika on it, by the way. Unhinged.
I know. This young Republican.
America. Whatever.
So she goes to infiltrate and she talks to Krabs and he's like, all right, show me the goods.
Well, she's like, I love when they show his office. It's like a bunch of like teenagers just doing nonsense.
Well, and I love that his office is like just a giant poster of himself.
And an American flag. And when they pan over the American flag, they play the Star Spangled Banner on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And he's in a room rehearsing some stupid bullshit speech. And then they're like, hey, you have a visitor.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's she look like? And the guy makes like a gesture of like,
yeah.
And then he's like, goes to talk to her and she's like, I have a thing to deliver. Like, Dominic is okay with sharing half the territory. And he sent me as the icing on the cake.
He's like, okay, show me the goods.
Show me the goods.
And she like starts taking off her top and he's like, no, I want you to do something to me quick.
And she's like, going down on him. And then, Mr. Krabs.
God.
And then,
God damn it. That is not something you want to hear when like anyone is going down.
Mr. Krabs.
No, you do not want to hear that ever. Like that is something no one should hear while like going down on anyone, okay?
For so many reasons.
No one on this planet Earth should be like, oh, Mr. Krabs.
Oh, Krabs.
Oh, Krabs.
There's so many. There's
layers. So many layers to that. There's so many jokes there.
But she basically bites his dick.
She bites his dick and he's like, she hurt me. Like, I love how much of a baby he is. He literally screams, she hurt me.
And she busts through the fucking cardboard paper mache wall.
Yeah.
With like a desk.
And she has his medallion, so she takes back the medallion. So that's the first initial send-off, right? I guess we are kind of going chronological now.
Well, she gets the medallion back and they're like, okay, you're in.
Yeah. You're in the gang, okay? Like cool beans. And they start doing just fucking gang shit.
Well, the whole time there's one gang member with an eye patch. I think her name is just Patch. And she's suspicious.
Well, she's watching everything, right? So she's watching Dom get with Maggie.
And she's like, hey.
And she's like,
he likes her.
And she's informing Lace of this, right? Yeah. She's like, hey, like, just be careful. He has like a new girl. So like, if you want to do something about it, you better do it soon.
There's also, before all this, there's a scene where they're all hanging out in the schoolyard.
Yes.
As children do. And the principal shows up and he's like, hey, oh my God, Krabs is being transferred here. So he wanted to make a deal and they're just like, get fucked, principal.
Yeah.
What was his name? Weasel.
Principal Weasel.
What a name.
What a name. That's a little on the nose, don't you think? I also love how disrespectful of the cops they are in this fucking movie.
Oh,
they fucking hate the cops. The cops, like, literally, they just call them pigs, and they're like,
I'll get you.
There's like
for
spray
this.
paint all over all the buildings that say like, the precinct has moved because
it's too dangerous.
The pigs like thought it was too. We kicked the pigs' asses or something like that. There's like they literally spray paint that on one of the signs in the end. They just hate authority. They Principal Weasel. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. That his name is fucking Weasel.
There's a whole thing where they like run like.
Well, it shows the school a lot where they're just like total degenerates in the school.
They're
and
dealing
like
drugs. They run like a prostitution thing.
Yeah, like
in the bathrooms.
They're trying to get the nerds to like get laid in the bathrooms by like displaying other teenage girls. It is fucking wild. This movie is unhinged. It is absolutely unhinged. Like all this shit is in the movie. It's fucking crazy. And so
the big thing is that
we'll lead up to, let's get to the shootouts.
So there is basically, eventually they make a plan that they're going to get back at Krabs.
So they're gonna get back at Krabs because what he did. So basically, what he did is there was a drive-by shooting, and he shot one of the rival gang members.
He also raped the gang member's girlfriend.
Yeah, so they're fucking pissed, right?
And they're like, we're gonna get him.
So we're gonna get him. We know he's going to the roller rink on this day, and we're going to attack him.
Bring your guns, and we'll get him.
Now at this point, we don't know what Lace is up to, right? We have no idea what she's planning, but she knows she's after Maggie.
But there's also a scene
where she talks to...
Well, she's, they're in bed. Lace is in bed with Dom, the gang leader, and he's just not feeling it. He's just not feeling it.
Yep.
And, he's just like... She's like, what's the matter? He's like, nothing. I'm fine. There's something the matter with you.
Yeah,
what's your problem?
I love how all the dudes in this talk like, oh, nothing's the matter with me. Oh, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you, eh? Hey, you chick, you.
He gets up and he's like getting dressed, and she basically just drops the bomb. She's pregnant, and we're gonna be a family and all this stuff. And he's like, he loses it. He's just full on like, how do you know it's mine? How do you know?
How do you know?
It's not even mine. I can't do this. You can't expect me to be a dad like all this. And he just throws a wad of like dollar bills at her, and he's like, fix it, take care of it, call me when it's over. And she's upset, and that kind of sets up what happens with the roller rink, because everyone's at the roller skating rink. Krabs is there, and he starts skating around with a woman that he just grabs, who looks like a 50-year-old substitute teacher.
Yeah,
I don't even know who she is. He just starts skating with her, and they're all skating around, and then they take out like chains and they start whipping people, and suddenly a bunch of guys burst from behind like the barriers of the roller rink and start shooting everybody. And they're like,
yeah, they're just fucking firing everywhere. Like innocent people are dying. They're just fucking.
And they're like, it's a setup.
Like, bullets are flying. It's a setup.
Know? Like it's a setup.
How did everyone know? And we learned that, like, spoiler alert, Lace tipped him off because...
Well, don't forget, there's also a great part where Lace gets kicked in her pregnant stomach by Krabs, Mr. Krabs, and, she's in the hospital, and she has a miscarriage.
Yep. And so she is fucking, like, just so upset.
Everyone's like...
Like, Maggie's like, hey, like, we miss you at the gang.
So sorry this happened. Like, here, I got you, like, a teddy bear. Feel better. And then they all leave. And then she's talking with the lady with the eye patch. And she's like, it's all wrong. They fucked it up. And she's like, what do you mean? And she basically says that she set up the whole thing. She informed Mr. Krabs. And she just wanted... she wanted Maggie to die. She was supposed to die, because instead what happened at the roller rink was they shot Dom and he died. She's pissed. But now, because Dom's dead, Maggie takes over the gang.
Yeah, exactly.
She's full on, like,
She's like, hey, we're not going to fucking put up with this shit. Like, all the men are out. We're all women.
Well, because basically she changes the name. Or no, she starts, like, exerting control. And all the guys are chickening out. I mean, she literally, like, holds a knife up to one of them and is like, say I'm a chicken. Say I'm a big chicken. Because they don't want to fight or whatever, I guess. And so they all leave. All the guys leave. And she says, we're going to change the name. I don't even remember what the old name was. But the new name is the Jezebels.
Yes.
And she reads them.
Well, because she reads the dictionary.
The dictionary definition of Jezebel.
Like Jezebels.
A bad woman.
A bad woman, or like
no morals and what. And they're the Jezebels now, and they need more manpower and weapons. So they go to this abandoned police station. And they find a, like, Black Panther militant gang that she knows the leader because she dated her brother or something. But they're like, hey, we got an all-woman gang. You want to, like, join us and fuck up the men? And
Yeah.
you're like, hell yeah. Power to the people.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, we're gonna fucking go fuck these men up. We're gonna fuck these, like, politicians up. Like, Krabs is gonna fucking get his comeuppance, and, like, we're gonna fucking just kill everyone.
And the whole time, you know, Lace is scheming. But they get a bunch of stuff. They get, like, an armored car and a bunch of weapons, and...
Well, yeah, because they have the new gang, so, like, the new gang is, like, all about that.
The other gang, the rival gang, is, like, holding a fucking soup kitchen or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, there's no...
Well, because, okay, like, this is, again, how unhinged this movie is. They're literally giving drugs out at, like, a free, like, meal
I guess they disguise
drive.
as vitamins.
Yeah.
Because the side of the van
says free vitamins, free food. So they're giving food to children and also giving drugs to teenagers, I guess?
Because they're just, like, sitting there, they're like, man, no one's showing up. Bring out the drugs.
Bring out the drugs, yeah.
And then all the women show up and they just toss their fucking tables of fucking, like, oatmeal over.
Yeah.
And...
well, it looks like fucking, like, sausage gravy or something.
Yeah,
like, it's so weird.
They just toss it all over and throw it in the guy's face, and he runs back to the headquarters and is like, look what they did to me. Look what they
did to me. So they get all ready, right?
Get the guns, get the guns.
Get the guns, and we have this big fucking street with all these innocent people, like, wandering around.
And they just
start, like, a giant firefight in the middle of the street. There's, like, an armored car that the like, one of the women gang uses.
Has, like, a mounted machine gun on the top.
And they can point their, like, machine guns outside
through
the thing, and they just fucking shooting everyone. There's, like, people in windows falling off, like, rafters, and, like, I just want to emphasize the chaos of this entire scene. It is absolutely mental.
Then basically the whole gist of it is that Maggie wants Krabs alive. So she can interrogate him about something. And she's like, has him cornered. And Lace and the eye patch lady are there. And they're just like, shit, we gotta do something. So right before Krabs is about to spill the beans on what happened and how, you know, Lace informed him, the eye patch lady shoots him.
Yeah.
It's like, he was reaching for his gun. I had to do it. And Maggie's immediately like, sure, that's very convenient.
Yeah.
And then they're all, like, celebrating.
So they're celebrating by having
they killed all the mans.
two little sheet cakes that they just write Jezebels on. And, okay, so I have to talk about my favorite character, and I think that she deserves more credit than she gets because she's the chubby one of the group. So, of course, her nickname is Donut. And
Little piggy.
She's so sweet and innocent.
I don't even know why she's in it.
I don't either. She doesn't She doesn't shoot anyone. She doesn't, like, hit anyone at any time.
Remotely intimidating.
No, she's just, like, a nice... She seems like just...
like, yeah, I guess.
Like, the nice character of the gang for some reason.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, and she just does things, and people, like, make fun of her, and she still does it, and, like... She has, like, no backbone. So, like...
The scene exemplifies
Listen, I'm all for Donut, okay?
Because they're like...
If she's like, no one's favorite character, she's mine, okay? I stand with Donut.
She just wanted to
That sounds weird. And I stand with donuts, too.
She just wanted to eat her sheet cake. And they're like, hey, Maggie, she betrayed us. She's a traitor. Isn't she, Donut? And Donut's like, yeah, I guess. And then a bunch of the other ones are like, we don't believe you. You're a liar.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Donut's like, they listen, they made me say it. They made me do it. So of course, the whole movie, because you know this was inevitable. You knew it was coming. We have to have a cat fight. So they bring out their switchblades, Maggie and Lace, and they poke at each other, they slice each other, and then Maggie kills Lace, and the cops the whole time are waiting outside for someone to die. And they're like, If someone dies, we finally
got him.
We have a case.
We finally can put these fucking degenerates in jail.
Nothing else
matters. We need to put them in jail.
We had no case until now.
Which is weird because multiple people at this point have died.
Countless people have died.
There's no evidence. Like shootout at the roller rink and shootout in a crowded street. And I love. Okay, here's another reason I love the cops. They show up at the exact end point of all these events.
Yes.
They never show up during.
No.
They show up after it's all happened.
They're a little stretched. Okay.
Think
in this universe?
I don't understand where this is set. I really don't understand any of what's going on.
It doesn't matter. It's total anarchy. And they, Maggie's alive, covered in blood, and they show up and they're like, "We got you now. We got you." And then they're like, "So you're gonna tell us again?" Because every time they show up earlier in the movie, they're like, "There's no gangs here. I don't know what you're talking about." But this time
I just love how that's like why they keep letting him go. They're just like, "Oh shit, you're right."
Yeah, they won't admit to it.
Oh shit, you're right. We have no evidence.
But now
these are the most incompetent cops ever.
They're like,
"Oh shit, you're right."
Are you gonna tell us again that there's no gang stuff? And they're like, "No, we're the Jezebels."
Yeah, this is when they finally.
And I'm with the Jezebels. And then they're like, and this one, she's like, "I'm with the Jezebels." They're like, "No,
they're like,
we don't. She doesn't even go here. We don't know her."
The eye patch lady, they just shun completely. And so they're getting put into the paddy wagon, and
Maggie's like, "We'll get you. We'll be back.
You're gonna stay off our turf, or pigs,
or we'll cut your ass.
We'll cast your asses." And she's just screaming. She's full blown, full tilt gang leader now.
We'll be back, and
they slam the doors, and fucking credits roll. This is absolutely mental. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
just total anarchy, which I guess is the point. But
yeah, you ever see those? If you ever watch movies like West Side Story and Blackboard Jungle and. I mean, there's a later one that I enjoy quite a bit called Class of 1984. If you ever watch those and you're just like, you know what? These movies have too much structure. They're too normal. They're too rooted in reality. Here's your movie.
Yeah.
There's just here you go.
Yeah.
There's just shenanigans.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't picture somebody watching this and coming into it and watching this and treating it with a 100% straight face.
Yeah.
If you do, more power to you.
I don't know. I couldn't. You just have to take it for what it is. You just have to meet the movie at its anarchist self.
Well, because first 10 minutes is there's a guy who's hassling a mom, a single mom. I guess she's the mom of Lace, but she also has 3 fucking Rugrats running around. And the guy's like, "You need to pay me or I evict you." And she's like, "You're a pig, blah, blah, blah." And she gives him $20. And he's he leaves.
And then he gets murdered.
No, he gets assaulted.
Oh, he gets assaulted in the elevator by all the women. Gang. Yeah.
And then after
that's why they're in the juvenile detention.
Well, yeah, after that, they go to the fucking burger place and hassle everyone there.
Yeah.
And the guy at the burger place is like, "Hey, can you please pay for the burgers this time?" And he's like, "What the fuck?" Okay. So fuck you, they don't pay.
Yeah.
And then they get arrested for hassling the fucking landlord or whatever. And then, they go to prison, and then the warden is a rapist. And she wants to rape the new girl, and
this is all within the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Not even. This is the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the guy also rapes Maggie.
Yes.
And this is again in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
So if you can watch all that with a total,
no one is watching this with a straight face.
If you can watch that with a straight face and be like, "Yeah, this is great drama. This is well acted."
Okay, that's a stretch. I doubt even the person that recommended this is watching this and being like, "This is I love this movie." Oh man.
No, there are a lot of fans of this movie, and I it has its audience.
I mean, I get it, but I think it has an audience because it is so unhinged.
Because it's so crazy.
Yeah. I think that's the reason it has an audience.
Yeah.
It's not because anyone's taking this seriously. It's because it's very campy and very ridiculous.
My hot take is, in some ways, and again, I hate to, I'm going to reference it again, because my favorite of this type of movie,
Yeah.
and even then, it's a little different, but it's a similar type of, like, you know, teen gangs gone wild type thing, is Class of 1984. This could, for me, and I know this is a hot take,
Okay.
it could have been crazier.
I agree. I do agree.
Because there's a lot of, like, colorful language and, you know, a lot of shenanigans, but there's not, like, I don't know, it's missing that certain oomph. And if you've seen Class of 1984, you might know what I'm talking about, because the ending of that movie goes absolutely, like...
Well, yeah, right. Because, like, I mean, like, this movie is unhinged and everything, but, like, it doesn't go crazy enough at the end.
Yeah, it's just, like...
It starts pretty, like, fucking insane and wild, and then it, like, almost kind of tones it down for the end.
Well, it's more like it starts out crazy, and then it kind of just hits, like, a baseline, and it kind of continues. Because, yeah, you get, like, you know, the gang leader that this woman's in love with is a total fucking skis bag, and everyone in the movie is just psychotic. Like, there's not even a single person in the movie who's really a quote-unquote good person, so to speak. But it's just missing that extra bit of, I don't know, violence or action. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But I know I'm also deranged, so that's just me.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. It's like, it is ridiculous. It's, I think there are a lot of followers of this, but, like, I always, you know me on this podcast, and if you're new here, you know, I mean, if you're a previous listener, I love, like, we've seen some fucking insane endings where they just go just fucking off the rails, just do some insane shit. And I always respect that, because it's like, go for, like, if you're going to make a movie and you're going to make a B movie and you know no one's going to really watch it anyway, why not?
And you're already making, like,
go crazy
exploitation movie.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Go fucking insane. Just do some, like, crazy anarchist shit.
Yeah.
Like, do some crazy shit that you've never seen in a movie before, and I kind of appreciate that more.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they didn't kind of push that boundary, like, I liked the movie, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they didn't push the boundaries of, like, what this could have been. I'm sure
there's a crazy thing to say about this kind of movie, but yeah, I mean, for me, it also is like...
I think I agree with you. They could have gone farther.
It pushes boundaries.
It does push a lot of boundaries, and I think for the normal watcher that doesn't like that absolutely crazy shit, this will be crazy enough for you.
But I don't think this movie will quite make people as, like, angry as some of those other button-pushing movies.
Yes.
And I think that's what's missing for me. Because when I think of, like, Class of 1984, like, I can picture people watching that movie and actually being like, holy shit, they went there.
Yeah, they're really doing
and,
this,
like,
right?
it's really pushing your buttons.
Yeah.
Because that movie is treating it with a 100% straight face.
Or like
even, like...
Or, like, Society.
Yeah, or, like, I mean, this director made blaxploitation movies. Like, something like even Foxy Brown or Coffee. It's like, those are gonna push buttons.
Yeah.
This will push some buttons.
This will push some buttons, and it just doesn't push my buttons in completely. If that makes sense.
I'm too insane.
I'm not trying to. Well, we've watched like over 200 of these motherfuckers. Like, at this point, our brains are just fucking dead.
Yeah, at this point, it's like I've seen a lot.
It's absolutely rotted at this point. It's fucking. Our brains are toast at this point. Okay, so that's why we need more. We're so... Even this didn't press our buttons enough to be like, you know what? This is the...
GOAT.
This is GOAT. It's like, we need more. We need more. It's not enough.
Especially for, a movie like this.
Yeah.
Because you're not watching this because it's...
You're watching it, and then I thought... and my thing is, I thought they were going to go more unhinged because of how the first 20 minutes set it up. And they do go unhinged, but I thought they were going to push it way further because I thought they didn't give a fuck.
Because for a movie like this, where you're not really, like I said, the acting's okay, the writing's okay, but it's not really gonna like wow you with.
But the shootouts are like fun to watch because it's like just total mayhem, right? Like it is a fun watch. It's not. It's like everything is okay, but it is a fun watch. I will say that. That's about the biggest praise I can give it. But I do wish it pushed boundaries a little more.
And I would recommend this for anyone who wants to see something crazy. If you want to see an exploitation movie,
if you're not like us and you've seen some crazy shit already, and you're wanting to kind of see some crazy shit in like a B movie, this is probably a good because I mean it has a cult following for a reason, right? Like there are a lot of people who like this movie. Again, I didn't hate it. I don't want people to think that I'm like hating on it. I just wish it went farther.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just wish it was a little more psychotic like myself.
Yeah. So, let's get to shitty to pretty. This is our review section. We go off entertainment value only. One being really shitty, like unwatchable, and 10 being really like amazing sleeper hit, like diamond in the rough status. I honestly think it's going to be a 6 for me.
I'll give it a 7.
Wow. Holy shit. We gave it different scores.
A whole 1.
A whole 1 score away. Holy shit. Record in like history in the making right here. Okay? We slightly disagreed
by one whole number.
Now, yeah, like I said, I kept saying this movie is unhinged, and like I do believe that. I just think it could have been more unhinged.
Yeah, it could have. It's missing that little something to really make it like a 10 or a 9,
right?
Like that.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I still think it's worth a watch, and
I think it is too. I would definitely recommend it because
I think there's a lot of people who will get more out of this.
I would recommend it, and I would recommend it also if you're just wanting to get into more like ridiculous movies, because I think it's a good starting off point. If everyone tastes are subjective, so you might really like it. You might like really love it. So that's why I say like give it a chance. Like it's okay.
If you really wanted to see Othello,
if you want to see an unhinged version of an Othello, and you're really a fan of Othello, go watch this. See how you feel. And then go watch like Romeo plus Juliet and all those like other unhinged versions of
modernized
versions of Shakespeare classics, because there are a lot.
There's a lot at this point.
So you could definitely find them. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Add this to your,
also watch Throne of Blood if you're into Japanese adaptations of Shakespeare.
You should watch Kurosawa, regardless of what you're.
I mean, true, but I'm talking specifically of like Shakespeare influence, because Throne of Blood is fucking incredible. It is so goddamn good.
Kurosawa knows his Shakespeare.
Yes, he does, and I think he did it better than Shakespeare himself. So that's a bold take, I know. Listen, we'll.
Shakespeare didn't have samurais.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Why.
That's fair. Shakespeare did not.
That's why.
So I think we'll just kind of leave it there. Shorter episode, but I have nothing else to say really.
Yeah. On to the next one.
On to the next. I hope you enjoyed that review. Whoever requested this, we know who requested it. We know who requested it. Thank you.
Yeah. How dare you?
And thanks again for Corpus Earthling for the theme song at the beginning of the ending of these episodes. Really appreciate you. And thanks for Blackwater Media, too. Okay, I'm just going to give shout-outs all around on our special recommendations.
All the comments.
Because you know who you are who recommended it. And like, if you decipher that code, because we know. But thank you, Blackwater Media. And thank you, Corpus Earthling. You guys rock. You guys are fucking awesome. Love, love, love both of your guys' content. It's great.
Yeah,
Please
it's always fun. It's always great to
please go check them out if you haven't.
see other people's content.
And thank you for everyone else who commented and requested, and it has continued to do that.
Requesting,
yeah. So thank you for that. For They Mostly Come Out at Night. This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Kind of feeling like a basic sheet cake.
Yeah, I need a basic sheet cake. But I'm going to write Jezebel's on it first.
Yeah. I'm going to write mid on it.